Well, April is Stress Awareness Month, and every week at this time, we are checking in with our stress reduction coach, Victoria Smith. Good morning to you, Victoria.
Morning, Joelle.
It's so nice to see you, bright and cheery. All right, so today we are talking about something specific. We're talking about self-care versus self-comfort. So let's talk about the differences between the two because it's important to define this.
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of confusion because you'll go on Instagram and you'll see like hashtag self-care and it's like a glass of wine and watching Netflix, and there's nothing wrong with that. I do it as well, except mine's a gin and tonic. But self-care is more about rest, rejuvenation, feeling more like yourself, reinvigorated, a lot of those words, whereas self-comfort is more about wanting to numb out, zone out, wanting that big like feeling of a hug through something. Self-comfort, there's nothing inherently wrong with it. We all need it. The question really comes down to what's your ratio of self-care to self-comfort.
Right. So with that, is there room for both?
Absolutely.
Okay,
like,
good.
I'm never going to take away your Netflix. Tiger King was my favorite a few weeks ago. But I think the question is, what's the ratio? Aim for 80% self-care and 20% self-comfort. But if that still feels like too much right now, and it might, aim for 50-50. 50% of those activities are self-care, 50% self-comfort. And the beautiful thing is when you do enough self-care, it starts to feel comforting.
Right, because with that being said, I think it still can be a little bit fuzzy with the definition because self-care can also look a bit like hard work. Like self-care could be going for a run, maybe when you don't exactly feel like it, but it feels great after. Am I on the right page there?
100%. Self-care can also look like calling a therapist. It can look like having some of those hard conversations or meal planning, which I know most of us hate, but it has a benefit to it, right? And so to make it a little easier, because it looks different for everyone, what they're going to be, what's going to be appealing for them, I did make a list for your listeners of almost 100 self-care ideas. So you can find that at stresslessladies.com/CTV. So almost all of those you can do in quarantine. Everything can be done in self-isolation.
Okay, and something else I read on your blog, we want to talk about micro moments. So can you expand on that, Victoria?
I think people feel like I need an hour set aside for self-care, right? And like none of us are going and getting massages right now or anything, but it can be done in these micro moments. So I really am encouraging people find a moment in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening for self-care. So for me today, I'm going to do a Bar Body Studio workout online this morning. I'm going to have a green smoothie for lunch. And then hopefully this afternoon, if it's not still snowing or raining, I'm going to get outside for some fresh air. So for me, most of other than the workout, the rest can be done in 5 minutes.
Right, you can bring it on down. And I'm going to ask you a question here, you know, on a personal note, and maybe it applies to people out there as well. I'm finding it tough scrolling through social media, and it seems like everyone is doing really well, and they're talking about all of their self-care or self-comfort, let it be, making sure not to compare.
Definitely not compare. Also remember, people are usually only showing you the best version of what's happening in their day. They're going to show you the workout. They might not show you the little spiral meltdown that they've had. And there's nothing wrong with having those moments of anxiety. I've had them too over the past few weeks. But definitely don't compare yourself to what people are curating on social media.
Okay, absolutely. And just a reminder, Victoria, of that website where people can get those 100 ideas for self-care.
Yeah, stresslessladies.com/CTV. And on Instagram, I'm doing these 3 micro moments a day. So you can go there for that template.
Okay, how great. What a great resource. We will talk to you again next week. Thanks for joining us.
Sounds good. Thank you.